What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna be reacting to 15 stupid people who did very stupid things. If you like the video, leave a like. Subscribe because I know you ain't subscribed. Thank you, and leave a comment. Let me know if you want me to do anything else in the future. And let's get into it.
Kills herself trying to look inside a gun, people who set fire to their buttocks, a soldier clowning around, or a man who gets his head stuck in a microwave. These are the 15 stupidest people in the world. In November 2013, at a zoo on the Sunshine Coast in Australia, a Bengal tiger attacked a manager who is a member of the family of the late crocodile hunter and wildlife expert Steve Irwin. The man named Dave Stiles was violently attacked by the animal while he was in his cage performing a show. The tiger jumped on him and punctured his head and shoulder. It then dragged him into a pool and bit his neck. Luckily, the victim was quickly rescued.
That nigga's still alive? Why?
By his colleagues at the zoo and then taken by helicopter to the hospital, where he underwent extensive surgery. According to media reports, several dozen people witnessed the attack. After investigation,
Like, I know y'all just heard him say that several dozen people watched this nigga almost die and was just like, damn, look at him, bro. World star, like, bro, nobody was like, let me call somebody. Let me help this nigga out. Damn, like, all right.
Zoo officials said Stiles was wearing a poncho and that the tiger had probably mistaken it for his favorite toy. Not very clever. Social networks. It has become a real drug nowadays, a virtual world that drives us to do crazy things. Between stupid jokes, dumb jokes on YouTube, unusual and dangerous challenges. Young people are now more exposed to danger sitting on their couch than standing on the sidewalk of their street. What's worse is that they are becoming more and more addicted to it every day. And this young man won't tell you otherwise. People use microwaves to reheat prepared meals, to make a good express muffin, or to reheat the rest of the pizza from the day before. This boy has found a completely different use for the microwave. And for the record, I would say that he didn't heat his neurons for long. When he wanted to make a challenge on a video to get as many "I like" as possible, a young Indian man living in the UK had the ingenious idea of placing his head in a microwave and then smearing his noggin with cement to make a mold. Don't ask me why he had such a crazy idea. And to accomplish such a feat, the YouTuber got help from his friends. They then inserted an air tube for him to breathe still and covered his head with a plastic bag and then filled the microwave with cement. But their attempt to create a cement mold backfired. Indeed, the young man got stuck in the device and could not get out. After a 90-minute struggle with his friends who were trying to help him free himself, the emergency services were called for help. The emergency services advised the friends not to attempt to free the boy, as this could cause further damage. Firefighters from the Fallings Park Community Fire Station rushed within 5 minutes of the call to rescue the 22-year-old man. After 30 minutes, the Indian was finally released. Then it turned out that the young man who runs the YouTube channel TGF Bro had agreed to do a challenge called
You can't lie. Look how many subscribers nigga has. Nigga gotta keep somebody entertained. Shit.
Almost dying, which consisted of doing dangerous things, which bring their author as close to death as possible, to get the most views and likes. The firefighters had declared that it was their duty to help people in distress, but the fact that they saved this man prevented them from going to the aid of other people in distress, who were not, desperately, putting their lives in danger for the entertainment of others. The craziest thing in the story, and probably the stupidest thing as well, is that this accident didn't stop the young man from posting the video on his YouTube channel, a video that has been seen millions of times. And beware, never try to do such a thing at home. If the man could be saved, there is no guarantee that another person could be saved too. You have been warned. There are brave, courageous, tenacious, and very brave soldiers. And there are also desperately stupid soldiers. Look at the pictures. This soldier couldn't think of a better way to make the company laugh than to clown around during the solemn moment of the march. Do you know the proverb that says, "Monkey, you'll always be a monkey"? Well, I would say that these men are and always will be stupid. To give a shotgun loaded with bullets to a monkey who doesn't even master his own gestures, there are only two possible explanations. Either these men are the kings of fools, or they were really looking for.
Why is this nigga doing that shit? I understand, like you say, he might not know how to do it properly, but he just looks like he's getting ready to run. Like he's running, like he's like, bro, this is it. Like, this is my form. This is how I run.
A way to die stupidly. To be an FBI agent, it is not enough to be big enough, you also have to have it in your head. Obviously, this agent has absolutely nothing in his head. While he wanted to enter private property to arrest a criminal, this man had the brilliant idea of going over the steel fence, which is entirely made of spikes, when all he had to do was to push the gate slightly to open it. Ingenious, isn't it? I wouldn't have wanted to be in the place of his buttocks, which right now must still be cursing him. Bad news for you ladies, this young woman reinforces the heavy label that has always been attached to you. A woman doesn't know how to use a car. And for good reason, she was ashamed of herself when she went to fill up the gas tank. Well, she was close to not being able to do it. This young woman had to move her car several times, always convinced that she had changed sides when it was always the side of the car that did not have the trapdoor she was presenting in front of the gas pump. After several desperate attempts, she finally managed to put the car on the right side. But between you and me, I think it was only by chance that she managed to do it and not by her intelligence. We're sure you've seen some stupid thieves before, but the ones you will see now are by far the dumbest you will ever see in your life. While planning to break into a house in Iowa, USA, these two thieves had a strange idea about how to camouflage themselves, thinking that hoods don't exist in the Midwestern state anymore. These two men thought of a brilliant idea, to paint their faces with black paint so that they would not be recognized. Apparently, it's a foolproof method, but a small unexpected event made their plan quickly fall apart. They had probably underestimated the intelligence of the owners of the house who quickly found them. Unfortunately, their silly disguise only drew more attention to them. As soon as Matthew Allen McNelly, 23, and Joey Lee Miller, 20, managed to escape from the property, the police soon got their hands on them. They chewed him up pretty badly. Police had received descriptions that both men wore fleece-hooded sweaters and that their faces were painted with black felt. Authorities found them a few blocks from the property they had targeted for robbery. After some investigation, it turned out that one of the two men had a score to settle with the owner of the house, who is none other than his ex-girlfriend. It's easy to see why she decided to leave him. When these men were invited by their neighbor for a killer barbecue, they didn't think he would be. Life hangs by a thread, it's true, especially when that thread is an electrical wire. These men believed, or rather believed, the most intelligent men on the planet, because nowadays, they certainly don't have to be part of this world anymore. They managed to float a power strip in the pool to light the electric barbecue in the middle of the water. Very clever indeed. Except that they forgot a small detail that might change the nice little plans for their pool day. Water and electricity don't mix. On this good barbecue in the beyond, I know that to become a mason you don't have to have done long studies, but you have to admit that it's almost stupid. These two bricklayers put all their strength into loading the wheelbarrow of the earth to finally unload it a few centimeters further, while they can very well use their shovels directly and swing the earth where they want. But hey, let's blame it on the sun hitting hard over their heads. In electric screwdriver, we hear the word electric, and yes, that's why it was designed, to prevent you from turning the screw indefinitely and hurting your wrist. Obviously, this technician is having a hard time understanding the usefulness of this tool since he continues to use it manually. One would have thought that a power outage prevented him from using it properly, except that the electricity is there, the problem is the intelligence that is not there. It is worse. Some people give the impression that they don't have a brain, or that they never use it. This young man had the ingenious idea of putting an opaque bag over his head and riding a skateboard on a slope that ends in a highway. Result of the races, the young man violently collided with a car that was driving while he was coming from the perpendicular direction. May he rest in peace. In the World's Dumbest Thief section, this one definitely deserves this glorious title. While trying to break into a building, the thief broke the glass and created a huge hole to get through. A few minutes later, the man ran out and tried to escape, but instead of going through the hole he had made to get in, he tried to get out through the other window, which was intact. Go figure out what was going on in his head at that moment. I dare you to think I'm dumber than he is. Small question. How can you kill yourself most stupidly? This young woman could have told us herself if she wasn't already dead. When she, simply, wanted to know what was inside a rifle, the young woman involuntarily activated the trigger tail with the gun pointed at her eyes. I'm sure that if she were still alive, she would have been awarded.
You tell me this bitch really died because she looked in the gun and then pulled the trigger? You pulled the trigger. with the gun at your face. It was one thing to hold the gun to your face, but then you put your finger by the trigger. Okay.
The prize for the stupidest person in the world. You know it now. Too much curiosity kills. These people are on fire, and one could not be more literal. Ingenious and brilliant, they had the idea of carrying out their flatulence on lighted lighters. But they certainly didn't expect the fire to burst and suddenly look like a giant flashlight. Always on top of the world's dumbest people.
Nah, I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. I saw a video, 1,000 Ways to Die, where nigga blew up because of that shit. So I'm surprised that nigga's still alive.
Watch this man and woman play a dumb game. The man has to lean against the wall of spikes so that the spikes come out from behind and draw his silhouette. After doing all this, the woman went behind the wall of woodpeckers and kicked her buttocks with a fairly free kick right in her buttocks. I can't even imagine her pain. He never thought he would ever get his butt kicked like that. So, what do you think of the 15 stupidest people in the world? Which one do you think is the dumbest? Leave us your opinion in the comments.
Well, as you can see, those are some pretty stupid people. Shit, we got dumber people now. Actually, you really think about that shit. But I mean, shit. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe. I know you didn't subscribe, so just click it. Just show some love to a small YouTuber like myself. And if you liked it, you know, leave a comment. Tell me which, you know, if you want to see more of it, if you want to see something different. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.